8 a.m. Monday morning. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Hey, as people are starting to make their way in here, I just want to set a little bit expectation. We're going to be on here for about 15, 20 minutes. So you can get off into your day, but I just want to give you a quick insight into what's going on Thursday, but also just to give you a little bit about what we're talking about on Thursday, and to give you a little bit of insight here. So let me get right into it, and that is we're talking about guilt. So if you are watching this, you're a man, you're a business owner, executive, you have kids, maybe you're divorced, maybe you are a single father, and you're like, dude, I am trying to juggle all of this, and you still want to win. You want to build and grow your business. You want to be a present and available and a connected father. You want to take care of your body. You want to be fit and ripped, and maybe your old fighting weight, like whatever that looks like to you. And maybe you also want to have a thriving relationship, intimate relationship. Maybe you have someone already, and you want to be able to uh, improve that, or maybe you're out looking for someone. Regardless of what that is, dude, I know you've got goals and you've got a lot going on, because for men, there's a tremendous amount of pressure to perform, produce, provide for others, whether it be for our family, for our kids, for our partner, for our employees, for our customers. There's just a lot. And what happens is we put a lot on ourselves. And what comes out of that is a lot of guilt. So I'm actually hosting a workshop on Thursday, August the 14th, really about this. It's called Guilt to Greatness, because here's what we've got. Imagine this. You are a business owner and maybe you're working 40, 50, 60 hours more. I just came off of a coaching with a business owner who was working like 75 hours a week on antidepressants, on high blood pressure medication, like just grinding himself out, down to the point where he had completely had to check out. So if you're a dad who's working a lot of hours, a business owner, and you're feeling a tremendous amount of guilt because you're not spending time with your family or maybe with your kids, I get it. I've been there. And there's a lot of men who do as well. And then on the flip side, what men feel is, they're feeling guilty because on one hand they're missing time with their kids, and then they're with their kids and they're feeling guilty because they're not spending time in their business. And this, because the pressure we've put on ourselves for so long is that if I'm not grinding, if I'm not hustling, then my business isn't going to grow. I'm not going to continue to make money. I'm not going to land these clients. And that is just that's not working. It's causing a lot of disease and problems in the health and their relationships of men who are working too damn much. So the thought pattern is, well, if I'm not grinding, well, first let me take a step back. The thought pattern initially is, I have to work and grow and be successful and make money, and then that'll take care of the rest of my life. That's BS. It doesn't work that way. Take it from someone who's tried that, who had to go through the divorce. Now only sees my kids 50% of the time, because I was thinking that if I could just kill it, if I could just make some money, then that'll take care of all my problems. Appreciate everybody who's checking in. Thanks so much for being here. But it doesn't work that way. And so so then the thought process is, if I do work, or if I don't work hard enough, if I'm not spending the time, if I'm not grinding hour after day after hour, then my business isn't going to grow, or I'm not going to make enough money. And again, uh, that process is difficult for someone to say, all right, so now let me work less. Let me take my foot off the gas a little bit so I can spend more time with my kids. I can spend more time with my spouse, my girlfriend, whatever it may be. And then the guilt starts to come up, and this feeling of, this uh, pressure that, oh no, if I'm not working, then I'm not growing. And it does not work that way. We have to be able to take time off. So I love it when guys come to me and they say, "Yeah, I made this much per year," and I say, "Awesome." I'm not wor- your KPI for me is not in how much money did you make this year. It's how much time did you take off. I'm not talking about on the weekends. How much time did you invest in you, invest in your kids? Because once we peel back the layers, that's what most people are looking for. Yeah, I know. For most people, it's not a lot. So what I want to do is I just want to frame a little bit as far as this particular call, and then for those of you that are just jumping on, what's coming on Thursday. I'm actually doing a full blown, highly interactive workshop on this topic called Guilt to Greatness, and really it embodies something I created called the Ignite method. For those of you who've been around here before, you've seen some of my lives. I run a movement called Be the Torch, and so there's a lot of fire references around it. So the Ignite method is how can we as driven, high performing individuals. I know you want to create. I know you want a lot to to experience in your life. And the old pattern, the old belief that we just have to go work our asses off and grind and hustle. We don't need any more entrepreneurs. We don't need any more men who are thinking along those lines. We need more along the lines of what life can I create? And then how can I fit my business inside of it? A life first business. So, what it comes down to is with the Ignite method, I'm just going to give you a couple of the frames within the Ignite method. The I really is just is being intentional with an outcome. What is a crystal clear outcome that you want? And I don't mean I need to go make more sales. Those are the byproduct of you becoming the type of person that can just step in and generate the cash and generate the money that you want in your life. So, but being intentional with that particular outcome, what is that one thing that you want to accomplish this week? Now, let me pause there for a second because here's what most dudes do, myself included. I've been so guilty of this. Talk about guilt. Is creating a task list or to-do list. Sit down and write down, on Sunday night, all the things I need to get accomplished this week, all the things I want to do this particular day, and it's a to-do list. The to-do list, if you haven't already heard this before, let me be the first one. I'm honored to share this with you. It never goes away. The to-do list continues to grow, and you've just imprisoned yourself. That's not freedom. And we cannot live by these to-do lists. So think project based. To be intentional? What is a particular project that needs to get done? Because if you're a business owner, even an executive, guys, it's 8 a.m. Monday, and be thinking about the projects. Most people aren't here at 8 a.m. because they're already in their to-do list. So, I was intentional with putting this out there this morning on a Monday because I want to get people ready intentionally for this week. Be intentional with an outcome that you want. If I could accomplish one thing this week that would move the needle in one particular area, maybe in my health, maybe if you're single out there looking for someone, like in my dating life, what is the one intentional thing you could do? Spending time with your children. Uh, if you want, brother, by all means. People want to throw money. Hey, I'm money focused. Let's make that happen. Uh, so being intentional is not with a particular to-do list, but just what's one particular thing that you could pour into that could move the needle in your business, in your life. So that's the I, being intentional. The G in Ignite is grounded in purpose. What connected to a feeling within you? What is the if we were to ground this in purpose, and purpose is not something that lives on the scoreboard, something that lives inside of you. It's you. What is the feeling you want to experience if you were to accomplish this? We have to start to connect our outcomes to feelings, which, fellas, I get we have difficulty feeling. We weren't taught that. to feel, either by who raised us or by society. So we want to take that outcome, we want to ground it in a particular feeling, because feelings, man, that helps our internal system, our energy, our frequency begin to connect and bring the outcomes that we want into our life. Feeling, what is the grounded feeling? So if this particular outcome, so for me this week, I am really intentional. I have a workshop that's coming in on Thursday, August the 14th, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you go to cletuscoffey.com/guilt to greatness, you can register for it and jump in. So that's my big project for this week. So I'm very intentional with that. Is going to help move the needle of my business, because I get to come and be of service. For those of you that are joining me, I get to come and be of service. We get to go deep into this, and it's gonna come from the Ignite method, but we're also incorporating AI into it. We're gonna get some outcomes and some action leaving that workshop. So I'm being very intentional with building how I'm going to incorporate AI into it. I'm incorporating with the interactive activities that guys are going to be doing, so that when we leave, we actually have moved the needle just in 2.5 hours together. So I'm preparing for that. There isn't a to-do list to that. There are some tasks that need to get done, obviously technology and all that kind of stuff. However, it just comes from me, and I have a feeling as to what I want to create, what I want to experience. And I want to step into me and just be free and loose and just enjoy the process. That's fun for me. It's not work. It's not a task I need to do. I just get to show up and be me. So for me, I'm grounding in being authentic and just the feeling of just showing up as me. Because I tell you what, for a lot of years, I didn't show up very authentically. I would show up on a workshop or in a sales conversation in a way that I thought the person I'm talking to wanted me to show up. So very inauthentic. I want to show up this Thursday as me. And that just feels really damn good. And whoever vibes with my vibe is going to show up, and they're going to get a ton of value. If they don't vibe with me, that's all good. I'm not for everybody, and neither are you. So quit trying to be that for everyone. Just be you, and the right people, whether it be an intimate relationship, a client, opportunities, partnerships, those things will come to you by you showing up and being authentically you. So the 2.5 hour workshop, and I think 2.5 hours, I'll leave some time for some Q&A, but this is going to be the complete guide to going from that guilt and that shame of, gosh, man, I'm working so much, but I want to be with my kids. I hear a lot of men say they love to coach their kids' sports. I've been super grateful to create my schedule where I've been able to coach my kids on all levels of sports. Sports are what I've enjoyed. Sports are what they enjoy. So I love doing it together with them. Your kids may be into something different, and that's totally cool. I want to coach them. I coach them from youth all the way through high school. I've been fortunate to be able to do that. I love being around them. So I want to do more of it. And fortunately, they're cool with me being around them, especially as teenagers. So we're gonna create it's a whole framework about getting rid of the guilt of, man, I'm feeling guilty because I'm with my kids, and then I'm with my kids, and I'm guilty about not working. We're gonna strip back the old patterns that you've been operating from, and instill pattern interrupts so that you can think differently and show up differently. And then what we're going to do is, my whole objective is to help you reclaim 10 hours and reallocate those hours from, I'm using those working, doing to-do lists and accomplishing tasks, and reallocate that into something that is of value to you, that's going to help you become the overarching man that I know you want to be, and I know you want to lead. So that could be, what would you do? What would you do if you didn't have to do work 10 hours? You take 10 hours of your work this week. What would you do with it? Would you work out? Would you go spend time with your kids? Would you go to that? I know it's the summer. Some of you are back to school already, but would it be taking your kids to school and picking them up because you can? Would it be taking, if you've got someone you're in a relationship with, maybe taking her out to lunch? What would you do with 10 hours this week? 2 hours a day during the work week? What would you do with it? Hopefully, you do it with something that is you're intentional with, and it's grounded in what you want to feel, how you want to feel. So we're going to dive into that. It's a proven system to lead as a man, as a father, as an entrepreneur with clarity, with energy, with passion. So, and what it's going to do is it's going to be connected to AI. So I'm going to deliver to you on that session a series of AI prompts that you're going to use to help you go through the Ignite method, the whole process uh, of I being the intentional outcome, the G, the grounded in purpose. Then we've got 3 to 5 necessary actions that you need to take as related to that outcome that you're looking for. We're going to integrate that plan into your calendar. Then there's a process for tracking and reviewing, and then finally the E in Ignite is to execute with a tremendous amount of energy. And by igniting your week, bringing back 10 hours that you're normally doing working and putting it towards something that helps you become the man that you really want to be, the leader in your family, in your business, in your life, that you are truly called to do. That it's been foggy, it's been clouded because you're thinking like you've got to be working more in order to actually have success. How many times, man, I've had guys go through this process, including myself, thinking along that same thing. Well, I'm just worried. Like I can feel it in their breath that if I don't work as much, then I am going to lose my momentum. I'm not going to make as much money. I'm not going to close as many deals and so forth. And then they do it, meaning they take the time off. They take 10 hours. They start with 10 and they allocate it towards 2 a day, allocated towards something else in their life, their fitness, their family, their foundation, their emotional intelligence, growing themselves. And all of a sudden they realize the business has actually grown without them. So taking if you have to be in your business for it to thrive, then you have a job, my man. It's not a business. So we need to get out of this worker bee, I'm an employee mentality. Your business is a project. You have projects within your business, and getting you to be project focused and not hour by hour focused, then get you out of being the employee and into being the owner of the business. So that's what we're ultimately working to. We want to be able to have fewer hours working and more time on me, developing me and growing me. I heard this very early on, and I'm going to end with this, that in business, it's not about the horse, it's about the jockey. So I really don't, it doesn't matter to me about your business and what you do. It's fantastic. I hope you love it. If not, we can work on that too. But it's about you. Your business is going to grow to the level that you grow. So it's time for you to start growing. And when you do, your business grows without you. That's the thing. You don't have to be in there day to day, hour by hour for it to grow. In fact, more times that I see men get out of that rat race day to day, pouring in hours into the business, they actually see it grow. So I'd love to help you do this. Gang, this is about getting more time to you, working less, spending more time with your kids, spending more time with you. That's what the Guilt to Greatness upcoming workshop is all about. So I tell you what, my friend, if you do not make a change this week, nothing, you're going to stay the same. So if you're still struggling with guilt, if you're still struggling with working too much, coming home burnt out, numbing yourself because you're exhausted, then nothing's going to change, dude. And you're going to keep doing that same mess over and over again. Same with the same frustration, same discontent, maybe in your relationships, maybe guilty because you're not spending time with your kids. None of that is going to change until you do. And I have an opportunity for you to do that. So this Thursday, August the 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific, Guilt to Greatness. We're going through the Ignite method. combined with obviously my interactive workshop to help support you through it, combined with the power of AI, you're actually going to implement right there on the workshop, and you're going to walk away with a plan to ignite your week so that you can start taking more time for you during the week and watch your business grow at the same time. Now, when your business is growing without you, you're also growing as a human being because you're spending more time on you, your family, your kids, your health, all that. So the best way to get there is just go to cletuscoffee.com/guilt to greatness. And I will also put the registration link into the description here. Gang, it's $10. It's your coffee and your scone that you're buying. $10 will get you in. You get me for 2.5 hours. I'm going to stay on until all questions are answered. All your burning questions. We're going to get through that Ignite method and get you with a structured plan to walk away with right away on that call. So, Guilt to Greatness, Thursday the 14th, 10 a.m. Pacific. Go to cletuscoffee.com/guilt to greatness. I hope to see you there. If you did come to this live here and then you show up on the workshop, please let me know. I got a special little shout out for you. Okay, everybody, off into the day. Be intentional with your outcomes and be grounded in purpose. What is the feeling that you want to experience? Fellas, start tapping into the feeling. That's in the future. What is the feeling you want to have at the end of this week when you've moved that needle? What does it feel like? Start feeling that now in the present moment. All right, guys. See you on Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific. cletuscoffee.com/guilt to greatness. See you then.